Hello guys, Mr. Shockwave came back here once again. Yes, shout out the video. The top 5 secret monsters that are hidden inside the Hero Association. Yes, there will be spoilers in the video, but yes. In my opinion, there are 5 pretty much more or less confirmed monsters inside the Hero Association that no one has done anything about or has figured out that they're monsters yet. And sure, there is a major one that pretty much everybody already know if you read the red comment. Yes, Amaya's mask is a monster and he's not going to be on this list included because these are ones that people don't discuss. These are ones that have not really been brought up by anybody, but even though they obviously are a monster. And these individuals are starting off with number 5. Number 5 is Zombie Man. It's pretty much more or less known that Zombie Man is an outright monster. Without a doubt, he is a monster. Been more or less ever since he's been called up by pure blood not being a monster and pretty much being made by Dr. Genius that there is no way Zombie Man could ever be or ever dream to be human again, and that's if he ever was. And in my opinion, Zombie Man is lightweight. It'd be like you would have added Amaya's mask on this list. Pretty much more or less everybody knows that whole chapter and the whole fight between him and Pure Blood. So it's not really a surprise that, oh, number 5 should be Zombie Man. It's not really. We already know who Zombie Man is and this and that. And pretty much, he's been a monster ever since he's been called up to being a monster. And since he met up with Dr. Genius, talking about the whole limiter and monster adjacent. But I will say this, I should put this at the beginning of the video. Someone removing a limiter is not the same as becoming a monster. It is a clear difference. Because guys like Saitama and guys like Saitama, Silverfang, and Metal Bat all have beyond superhuman abilities, but they don't share any trait of being inhuman or monsterized. Meaning they're not really a monster. But other characters like we would get into are outright monsters. This is distinct different. Triggered by emotional inferiority complex, going through extreme trauma, or whatever you want to say what goes down. Some are monsters and others are not. So put that clear. Someone removing their limiter does not make them a monster. Someone has superhuman strength does not make them a monster. Similar to how Zombie Man is more or less a monster, but only thing is he can just regenerate and that's it. And it's unknown how he will be able to actually take down Carnage Cover 2 by himself, but who knows? But on to number 4. Number 4, who's a monster, Super Alloy Darkseid. The other YouTubers, Zion, have already covered this. But yes, Super Alloy Darkseid is 9 times out of 10, he's not right monster. Because his entire growth and his backstory into how he became the way he is, there is no way you can claim that he's a bodybuilder when other people around his same size and shape have been unable to attain what he's obtained. Not including the fact that he's quoted as saying, "Oh, I did something different and I trained differently." Darkseid is unknowingly a monster. You look at his body, especially against like Blood God or against Garo. No normal person would be able to bulge up their muscles like that. Nobody. And the fact that he became extremely dark for no apparent reason. Extremely dark for no apparent reason. No suntan lotion or nothing. He's just like that. You go try to tell me that Darkseid's a human being? Darkseid, not including the fact that it's similar to Amaya's mask. When he gets mad, and similar to also his black sperm as well, when they both get mad, they start to get an extreme amount of veins in their forehead and face. At least with like Saitama or somebody gets some veins, but those two is a lot. It's covering their face and everything like that. And he did it against things like, I forgot who did the whole thing too, but yeah. Darkseid is not a human being. You can try to argue whatever you want. Darkseid is not just a bodybuilder. He's just not a normal person. Darkseid he's not human. And check out my Darkseid video to go more inside of why I believe that he's not human. I broke it all the way down there. It just makes sense of why he's not. And he's pretty much undercoverly a monster. And similar to Amaya's mask, his normal form was a monster form. But would he get triggered like Amaya's mask to transform into a more monstrous appearance than he already is? No, but who knows? Because remember, it was nothing said about Darkseid's height being that tall at all. It's never stated, brought up, or mentioned how he got that tall either. I could just be crazy, but overall, Darkseid is not a human being. Anyone who argue that I should question you working for the Monster Association or not. But on to the next one. Number 3, which would be for most people not even realize that this character is actually a monster, but he is. And that person is Tank Top Master. Tank Top Master is a monster. Him and his entire group are a bunch of monsters. I didn't think about it until recently. In the webcomic later on against an enemy called Heavy Smoker. Tank Top Master constantly mentioned that how his tank top is tightening and he got 5 minutes to stand this transformation. Now, in fact, recently in the webcomic and in the manga, he's also mentioned something about his tank top actually tightening. Now, maybe it's just me, but unless there's some type of special tank tops should not tighten by themselves. Similar to how Garo and his clothes start to change when he start to get pushed in and become beyond human. I'm sorry, the sad reality is you're fan of Tank Top Master. Tank Top Master is not a human being anymore. He's an irate monster. Now, what would happen with Tank Top Master will be interesting, because since he is that connected to a tank top, and since he is more or less a monster in my opinion, but there's no reason his tank top should be tightening at all. That should not be possible if you just wear a normal shirt. Because remember, One Punch Man, you eat too much crab, you turn into a monster. You hang out lizards too much, you turn into a monster. Even if you're too ugly and become spiteful, you turn into a monster. If you're too ugly and want to be pretty, you turn into a monster. So that's the far-fetched that Tank Top Master and want to get a better physique and become stronger, accidentally start to go through a monsterization process along the lines of Garo and other characters. Because there's no reason behind it. You cannot reason to me that there is a logical reason why Tank Top Master tank top should shrink or tighten when he's not wearing a special tank top. It's just an average type top. And the fact that he got an entire group of them like this, I doubt the others are truly aware. At first it's just like, look at Darkshine. Darkshine is inhuman. There's no way he'd be able to get his muscles up that high. There's something up with Darkshine, this and that. And then I realized, wait a minute. How is Tank Top Master's tank top able to tighten like that? How is that possible? That should not be possible, or even humanly conceivable that his tank top will be able to tighten like that, but it does. Tank Top Master is a monster. It is what it is. And I feel he's the most surprising one to even add on the list, because most people would not expect Tank Top Master to be a monster or have any monster trait, but that shrinking tank top is a smoking gun. There's no reason a tank top to shrink at all. Cause I was talking to my friend Jordan, it was just like, oh, I'm about to bring up Tank Top Master and looking compared to Darkshine, he's wait a minute, how is this tank top shrinking? I mean tightening. How is that? That shouldn't be possible, or even humanly conceivable. Alright then. So on to the second, cause I'm pretty sure for number one most people will not be able to guess what the number one is. But for number one, for number two is Period Prisoner. Yes, our favorite man fresh out of jail. The infamous man who's chasing after the boy love. Yes, sadly, Period Prisoner is a monster. It's without a doubt that he is a monster. And cause like you can see throughout the series that Period Prisoner continues to evolve and change, and especially in the Monster Association arc, where he just pulls out some stuff that just comes out of nowhere. The whole body hair stuff with Nian doesn't make any logical sense. Why does his body hair just comes out of his body like that? And just sure, other people have discussed it, and it more or less is obvious that Period Prisoner is no longer a human being, is more or less as a monster at this point. But it would be sad to see Period Prisoner go, because it's just like, I can't support all of his actions, but come on, you can't say Period Prisoner it's not interesting to watch, even though he's nude most of the time. But yeah, number two option is Period Prisoner. He is a monster. That body hair makes no sense. There's some other small slight transformation, like how he's able to dig through the ground, similar to how Garo is able to dig to the ground without any type of assistance or technology. He's a monster. Also, one more quote thing about the Darkshine thing. Darkshine should have died when Fur utterly spit that acid onto him, but he doesn't seem like he's affected. Similar to when he got hit by Black with Golden Sperm, he wasn't knocked out. There was no blood, there was nothing. Sure, he may be laid out, but he's not really hurt. He's not hurt. It's the fact that his confidence has been took a hit, and that's it. He's not hurt. But before we get to number one, some people might say, oh, Metal Bat's a monster because, you know, he get pumped up. No, Metal Bat is not a monster. It's not possible for Metal Bat to be a monster, because there are certain characters who break limiters. I would say Metal Bat is odd of how he gets pumped up, but that could just be a natural thing. Am I making up excuses? No, there's a difference. There's a distinct difference. It's not the same logic. Say Tom is a monster as well, but he's not. Breaking your limiter does not automatically make you a monster, because there's nothing that triggers that monstrification process. You just become a superhuman. Similar to Superfang. Superfang should not be able to survive most of the things he's been hit with, but he's not a monster. Superhumans and monsters are two different things. It's similar to the whole Doom 2004 movie type of thing, where it turns some people into superhumans and it turns other people into monsters. It's similar to that, which is an excellent comparison. Excellent. But on to the number one monster of the entire series. The number one monster, surprisingly, no one has brought this up or thought about, is the number one monster is Watchdog Man. If you look at it, Watchdog Man carries every single similar trait to Phoenix Man. Only difference is he's a hero and Phoenix Man is a monster. Just because he stays at City Q all day doesn't mean anything. Watchdog Man is a monster. He's stuck in it, and he chooses to stay in that suit, just like Phoenix Man. He has some type of unnatural animalistic skill and animalistic fighting style, just like Phoenix Man. All the difference is he's wearing a dog suit for no apparent reason. And at this point, Watchdog Man is pretty much a monster at this point. Without a doubt, there's not really too much of a question of is he is or is he isn't. It just comes down to a sad fact that he pretty much is. Now, I didn't think about you. I started thinking about Phoenix Man himself and what is the difference between Watchdog Man and Phoenix Man? They're both trapped into the suit. They both gain some type of unnatural ability from the suit. They both don't have a problem with being inside the suit. And it's just it's funny how no one really talks about Watchdog Man actually being a monster when he fits all the quotas to being a monster. Especially when you have the exact perfect example of the exact same thing Watchdog Man is going through with Phoenix Man. What's the difference? And remember, Phoenix Man still looked like he was trapped into the suit until Child Emperor sliced and diced and cut him up and forced him to evolve into a further monsterized state. So, and that's also another thing. I noticed the fact that we never get to see Watchdog Man fight at all. And we don't even know what Watchdog Man can actually do, because he wasn't there to join me with the whole we're gonna attack the monster association, because he's always protecting City Q. And arguably he could be wearing a dead body of his own dog, but I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna that would be messed up. But the real world is stranger. The real world is always stranger. So who knows? But yes, that's more or less my entire top 10 list of the secret monsters of the Hero Association. And my whole thing is, somebody say, where are we going with this? What's the point of making the list? What's the point of talking about it? The whole point is, eventually, the near heroes or the organization or somebody going to use this against the Hero Association, that they're harboring secret monsters and causing them that they go fight their other monsters, something like that. So with Brother Jordan, if anybody could just turn into a monster, then shouldn't there be like some type of social uprising, something that you get to kill somebody, innocent family member, just because they're a monster? But when you think about it, when you have that whole difference between breaking your limiter and becoming a monster itself, then there'll really be no need for that. Be no need for that at all. And the fact that they are harboring secret monsters is only a matter of time before the organization or near heroes use that against. Not sure. Potentially, unconfirmed, potentially Meta Knight is helping out or destroying the cities, and it's more likely the organization is doing this. But all depends, because depending how the next few webcomic chapters goes, it's rather, alright, we're gonna finish out the storyline and reveal like the entire person behind this entire thing is the organization, or Meta Knight is actually showing up to help. So it could be either one of those two, and I doubt it's gonna be Meta Knight just showing up to destroy everybody or anything like that. I do believe that the organization is still framing them and things like that. So like I believe that Drive Knight is a monster and Super Ally Darkseid is gonna die in a One Punch Man, just like Pure Prison or something like some other. Not Pure Prison. It was Pure Prison. If somebody else are predicted to die in One Punch Man as well, Oh yeah, Pig God. Bingo. He's another one. Also, arguably, that's another one. Pig God is also a monster. When you think about it, he just ate too much food and just monsterized by himself. So technically 6. I'm sorry. That wasn't even planned. Think about it. Pig God is a monster when you look at it. He does fit the criteria of being a monster. He's able to eat anything. The only difference is he might be a science experiment, or you might have some type of grandiose secret ability that no one knows for, because he's been hinted at it for a while. And not even in the webcomic we got a reveal of what that whole secret ability is that he has. So it could be anything. It could be maybe his monsterized form is him just turning into a human version of golden sperm. Who knows? But that's another one. Technically it's 6 now. Right, great. I guess I had this as a bonus. Pig God is a monster as well. How did I miss this? Cause I went to the whole monster association list in the S class. I didn't even think about Pig God. I don't know why, but more than likely he is some type of monster science experiment though. The only reason I bring up science experiment is because of the whole that whole one final move that he's holding on. Unless he's a secret expert, that one science move got to be some type of unnatural thing. But I do believe Pig God is a monster as well. It's quite sad because you wouldn't expect there to be that many monsters. Like most people wouldn't expect Tank Top Master to be becoming a monster, but there's no reason his tank top should tighten. That's not some type of tank top technique. I believe that monsterization. Pure Prisoners is obvious. Dark Sun is obvious, but Watchdog Man is not really talked about. Pig God either. You could sort of say they're human. No, they're not. They're outright monsters. So there's nothing you can do about it. Just if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But until otherwise, in my opinion, these 6 individuals of the hero S-class and hero association are monsters. Now there could be some down in the A class. Easy that there could be some just hidden down there, not knowing it. But more than likely, these 6 are monsters, and they will have to be confronted, or it will be a major conflict eventually about the whole having monsters at the hero association. And maybe just be if you don't attack no innocent people. But you have that whole incident with Amaya's mask, and he's just like, say Tommy, kill me. Do it, say Tommy, do it. Do it. In my life, you gotta be the replacement. You gotta be the face of the hero association. I'm telling you, say Tommy's never gonna get his One Punch Man name until the very end. Now I don't think he'll end up like Blast or something, but he's not gonna get his credit until like the very end. So unless we can get the title of One Punch Man. So yeah, I've been sure. What you guys' thoughts and opinions? What do you think about this whole opinion list? Who do you believe who else could be a secret monster? Because you can easily explain with the whole Tatsumaki and Fubuki psychic stuff, them just being a psychic and that's it. You don't really need to be a monster to become a psychic, unless you're that one guy who got them eyes implanted into himself. But besides from that, you don't really do anything to become a monster from that front. So, be sure again. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinion. Who else inside the Hero Association could be a secret monster that's undercover, that's just waiting, or unknowingly a monster this entire time? I gave me my list. I let you guys list. Be Shockwave King now. Peace.